Hey YouTube, Alan back with a package and pickups video. Well, it's been a while. It's been a while for any video, and I have a few bits that have come in and wanted to finally get around to showing them off. In particular because I got a gift in, a very cool gift I must say. It was a friend on Facebook, Edmund O'Donnell, sent me a message saying he got this cool lot of games, and I was like, that's a good deal you got there. And looking at it, then he just says, "Hey, do you want me to send you one?" And I was like, "Of course, yeah, why not?" And better yet, he asked me, which one do you want, and I'll send it on. I was like, brilliant, I'll have this game in question. And sure enough, he pops it in the post. I would have paid for postage if you wanted, but luckily it was in Ireland, so thankfully the postage wasn't insane like we usually have to deal with. And it's a Mega Drive game, one that I've always wanted to try, and that is, what is it called? Rock and Roll Racing, trying to get the name, by Blizzard. And of course, this is kind of like a super off-road-esque game, where you have the isometric racing, but its kind of novelty is that you have 16-bit versions of rock and roll music playing at the same time. So you've got Black Sabbath and a few acts like that. It looks pretty damn cool, and I've always wanted to try it, and now I can. So very, very pleased to add this to the Mega Drive set. Really, really grateful to get it as a gift too. You can't go wrong with that, as they always say. Normally these packaging because videos are always bad. You get a deal or whatever price, and it's like you can't go wrong. Well, you definitely can't go wrong with a gift, and I will always accept a gift of a Sega Mega Drive game. A good Sega Mega Drive game too, from the looks of it. So that was the first item, and if you hear my throat, that's because, and that's the reason why I haven't been making videos. I haven't been feeling too well, so it kind of knocked me out of commission. So what's next? Okay, I'll do with the charity shop pickups, and there was basically 3 games, or yeah, it should have been 3. I don't know where the third one's gone. It should have been 3 games for €1. So the first one is Star Wars Rebel Strike, Rogue Squadron 3. Really good game. And of course we got Star Wars Force Awakens coming out soon. This is kind of the end of the Rogue Squadron trilogy. It's not as good as Rogue Leader, but it's still a quality game. The kind of on foot and the vehicle missions let it down just a little, but really recommended playing. And on top of that, I also have Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance disc. So even though this was just, the disc basically, it came with this one, which they threw into in the charity shop because they didn't have a box around the verse. That wasn't part of the 3 for €1. The other one was a PC game I haven't played before, Battlezone by Activision, and I thought Battlezone was an Atari game. Maybe I'm mixing it up. And I thought it was that Vector arcade game, so I'm kind of surprised that this is Activision doing it. So yeah, being a PC game, it's I expected to have. Yeah, there was the price. It was on a promo, so 3 for €1, but I don't know where the third one went. I expected to have no manual, but no, it has a rather cool looking front cover of a manual. Top secret NSDF fuel briefing guide. And then the rest is just how to install on your Windows 95 computer and your keyboard layouts. It uses a lot of keys. That's why I was a console gamer. But in reality, I was going to pick this up. I already have this game, but I figured, given that there was essentially 2 games in it, I'd pick it up for trade fodder, and I'd get this free. And the third game, which whatever it was, no, it wasn't a game, it was a DVD. That's why it's not here. It was like Toy Story 2 or something like that, DVD. In fact, I think I got multiple DVDs as well. So there we go. We got those 2 from the charity shop, essentially for like 66 cents. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. That was a good price. And finally, no, not finally, I'll do a modern one. Here's a bit of a modern game. during the Halloween period, they had a sale on Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. I got Bayonetta 1 on the PlayStation 3 when I got my PlayStation 3, and while it wasn't, a blow your mind type of game or have to have it, it was a good game. And I do want to try Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. Exclusive, so you gotta kind of try and support it. But to be honest, because it didn't blow my mind, I didn't want to pay the full price. And I waited for it to go on sale, and at Halloween they had it on sale for like £11. I said, okay, £11, I'll jump in at that price. And unfortunately, this is the single disc edition, so it's just Bayonetta 2, doesn't come with the Bayonetta 1 version. But, well, it would be nice to play Bayonetta 1 again with the Nintendo add-on content, the extra costumes and whatnot. I kind of didn't want to pay an extra 30 quid just to play a game I already have again. So, this will do. And I'm hopeful that they've kind of upped the ante and, just kind of expanded upon the world and, kind of fleshed it out a bit more and kind of added a bit more variety. Judging by the reviews, I think they have. And, yeah. It's another good game from what I've seen in the Wii U catalogue. And you don't have too many exclusives to be pulling upon that aren't like Mario or Zelda. So you've got to pick them up where you can. So, now we're on to kind of the final thing. A few weeks back now, I was in my local my local game store, Player One Gaming, and they had a sale on to celebrate the kind of shopping centre's 10th birthday. So I got a bunch of bits, most of which wasn't for me, it was actually for my sister. But I did manage to get myself a few games. Now, I may as well throw the first one out because it was a freebie. It was FIFA 13 on the PlayStation 3. Myself and Tony, we like a good soccer game, so I'm sure we'll jump into this. It's Tony, but this was a freebie because it was relatively cheap, and we were having a grand chat in the shop, and I had problems with the other items I bought for my sister, and the shopkeeper sound and threw it in. So there we go. Excellent stuff. But the other stuff that I did actually buy, some retro games. And the retro games for a system that I haven't really jumped into too much. And that's the Atari. And specifically the Atari 2600. Now I have a 7800, which is backwards compatible. So, I can play the odd 2600 game that way. Now you really don't see very many Atari games over here. To be honest, I don't think I've ever seen them like in a charity shop or a car boot or anything like that. Other than a couple in retro shops, I've never seen them. So, when I seen a few in there, in particular I had my eye on one game, a game that I played when I was younger, and I'll get to that last. But that was kind of my reasoning for buying this little bundle, because there's a bundle of, was it 4 games I think? No, 5 games for €15. Let's save that one for last. The first one is relatively unexciting. They're not in the best condition, but I'm not too picky for Atari games. I think it's like international tennis, or sports tennis. It's tennis. From the pictures up and down, it actually looks relatively okay for a tennis game on the 2600. But proof of the pudding will be in the eating, and in the case of a sports game, it's in the playing. We'd see. A bit more exciting, and a game that I really liked in the arcade, and that is Moon Patrol. You got the old brown. I love the fact with Atari games, you could often tell they got a period from the release colors. So you had the silver period, the brown period, and then you had Activision with the different types of colors as well. So yeah, this is Moon Patrol. It's a port of the arcade game. So obviously, with Atari games, there's plenty of license taken between the arcade game and conversion. But they often get the core essence in place, like Space Invaders and Asteroids. They're clearly not definitive, but they're enjoyable. So that's not the game I had in hand. That's not the game either. So yeah, Moon Patrol. A game I was, it kind of they're the type of games that when you think of Atari, this is what you mean, at least to me. So another brown level one, we have an Atari 2600 pinball game, Midnight Magic. Now, I've never played this before, so I can't really comment on it. It's it's hard to really speak highly of early video pinball games. They're not the type of thing that you think, oh, I'm going to go back and I spend hours playing a video pinball game. But at the same stage, they can be a good little time killer. And as these were part of the bundle, it was going to be there. And I have a feeling that might be fairly well reviewed for that type of game. But we'll step it up to definitely more of a known classic, and that's Centipede. Again, another famous arcade game. Also famous, I guess, for being in Pixel's movie recently, and another one of these brown labels. So it's another one though, kind of early Atari, high score challenge games. Really defined that era for me. And finally, the game that I actually wanted the bundle for, because they were the first four. The fifth game was the one I wanted the bundle for. And again, not in amazing condition, but I have so many memories of this particular game, and that's Double Dragon by Activision. So, Double Dragon was ported literally to everything, it seems. Generally people think of maybe, beyond the arcade, you think of, say, the NES version or the Master System version. Of course, it was a big heated debate. Master System had 2 players, but NES was more famous, was in things like The Wizard. But the Atari 7800 had a pretty good port too. At least I found it very enjoyable. And it was the one that I played back in the day, because my neighbour actually had it. But he first had the 2600 version. He had a 7800, and he got, as his second game, 2600 version of Double Dragon. And I remember playing this and being blown away, because we hadn't played much more. I only had Pong, he had Asteroid. This was the third game. It was like, whoa, look, there's figures on the screen and they can move. So this blew my mind, the fact that you could have multiple people fighting. And I'm well aware that it's a limited game, but for those memories of being a kid and being kind of having your mind blown by this really simple scrolling beater that didn't even scroll, just makes it, gives it that extra connection. But what really makes it funny to me is that eventually he got the 7800 version of Double Dragon. So basically the same game. But we didn't know that. We thought it was essentially the sequel. And going from the 2600 version, this version, to the 7800 version was, again, like, really having your mind blown. The graphics were so much better. There was so much clarity and like more weapons, more enemies, more everything. It was just like, oh my god! How did they improve the game so much? We didn't know at the time that, of course, there was a 2600 essentially built into a 7800. But yeah, I have such fond memories of that. One of my kind of defining early video game memories is Double Dragon on the 26 and the 7800. So for that, I wanted to get this game. I had seen it in the window, and I think it was £8 or €8. Sorry. I kind of didn't really want to pay that on its own. So when it was bundled up with the other 4 games for 15, I said, yeah, that's a good deal to me, because a good way to bump up the old Atari collection, which is sadly lacking. So there we go. That was 5 Atari games. A great a freebie from the store. Backwards. A freebie from Facebook. And then some stuff that barely cost me anything, 26 cents. And then relatively new game. So a good haul in my kind of little sickness gap. And hopefully this video is recorded okay too, given technical problems which you may or may not have noticed, depending how it goes. Anyway, it's good to be back, and hopefully I'll get back with more videos, and I'll get back with some gameplays and maybe some collections and whatnot as well. So we'll see. Anyway, until next time.